So, getting into the news for this month, the first article is directly from Microsoft, and this was talking about the Microsoft Zero Day that was resolved yesterday. This one is absolutely being utilized by a threat actor. There's a malware family called Pipe Magic. It's a malware family that the threat actor behind this one is called Storm 2460, but they're using this in ransomware campaigns actively today. So that is the urgency. This is the one that the news is pretty much a buzz about right now. So this goes into a little bit of detail about the zero-day vulnerability, the fact that it's being used in that Storm 2460 ransomware campaign. So this is where you may need to decide if you need to push this sooner rather than later. For those of you who have ransomware as one of your top priorities to defend against, this could warrant trying to push the OS update faster than normal. That's obviously a risk-based decision that each organization needs to make on how aggressive they would shift to push something out sooner if needed. But that's the concern with this one is this CLFS exploit is actively being targeted by a threat actor who is using it in a ransomware campaign currently. So there is more details about the ransomware activity. This information may be used by your security teams to observe and monitor for traces of that type of ransomware within your organization. But the OS update this month does resolve this vulnerability. So that is the first article there. The second one, if you're following along in that doc, there's an article here that talks about the Windows CLFS vulnerability again, but also goes into a couple of the additional vulnerabilities resolved by the OS update this month. Todd, I think the OS update this month resolved somewhere in like the high 60s or low 70s of that 121 total CVEs, if I'm correct, right?
There were 87 in Windows 10 and 84 in Windows 11.
Oh, wow. Okay, it was even higher than I had originally expected. So the majority, about 2/3 of the total CVEs resolved this month are in the OS update. And in there are a couple of others that were called out by some different security researchers as concerning. They're ones that would definitely be attractive to threat actors. They are not actively being targeted. They are not publicly disclosed. There's no proof of concepts for these yet. But from a research perspective, they're ideal choices for a threat actor because they enable them to do a lot with very little interaction from a user perspective. In fact, there was a pair of LDAP vulnerabilities, the two here, that do not require any user interaction to be able to exploit. So if they were exploited, it would be something where an attacker could rapidly take advantage of. LDAP can pop up in a lot of places across a network perimeter, so it's definitely a concerning risk within there. And then the two RCE vulnerabilities in Windows Remote Desktop, again, for organizations that are running RDP, and especially if you've got RDP exposed in any level on your perimeter, that's another common entry point for threat actors. So there were other vulnerabilities within the OS update this month that are being called out as a high risk kind of concern. But there's only the one actively exploited right now. So this article kind of goes into a little bit more depth than the Microsoft one. The Microsoft one was only talking about the CLFS zero day, but that's the pair that's talking about the Microsoft side.